So the PlayStation 4 might be announced as early as this month, February 20th, and the system itself might launch as early as this year, 2013. How's that for some heavy gaming news? Basically this is all rumors. Nothing is 100% confirmed here, nothing is official, so we should all take this with a grain of salt. However, we could kind of safely assume that something was going on with Sony and Microsoft, and they were going to eventually release, PS4, Xbox 720, whatever you call it, fairly soon. My personal guess was 2014 for the PS4, but according to the site article, it will be released or they're hoping to release it at the end of the year for US and Japan, and early 2014 for Europe. Hopefully that part's just a rumor, because it would really suck if you got it a little bit later. So I hope that all you Europeans get it at the same time as everyone else, because that's always sucks when you hear about different regions getting it earlier and you have to wait that much longer. I hear your pain. I'm from North America. We don't get a lot of RPGs. We're getting them eventually, but we have to wait a while. Anyway, let's get into the meat of this article, because there's a lot of cool things other than just the release dates. There's a lot of anonymous sources talking to Polygon, the Wall Street Journal, Edge Online, basically a bunch of different places about what's going to be happening with Sony in the next little while. And it looks like on February 20th they're going to have a press conference, and that's when they will officially reveal the PlayStation 4. Now, what makes me believe this article more so is that a few weeks ago we heard that there was rumors that Sony and Microsoft were both planning to have different individual press conferences for their system reveals and not reveal them at E3. They didn't want to do what they've been doing for the past, ever. Ever since this, gaming industry has started. E3 has always been the place where consoles were revealed most of the time. But it looks like they wanted to have specific press conferences so that they could really talk about, they could have more control basically on what they could release and talk about, and E3 wouldn't just be a focus on the new hardware. So that makes me believe that on February 20th this is what we will be seeing from Sony. So another thing that they've been talking about is Sony is planning to incorporate more social gaming aspects into the new machine, and is more focused this time on the changes in how users interact with the machine. What this tells me is they're trying to do exactly what Nintendo did with the Wii U. The Wii U, you interacted so much more in the social gaming aspects because of the gamepad, and how in the Miiverse you could just kind of leave messages every once in a while, or drawings. Some of the drawings on the Miiverse is insane. You'll be playing a game and you'll just see this epic drawing that somebody drew with the gamepad, and you're like, that's freaking awesome. Or somebody will just talk about his experiences with this level. They'll say, funny stories. It's just, it just adds much more to the gaming, not the gaming aspect, but the social aspect of gaming. And that's really cool. And I just love how they integrated the gamepad with, the interfaces. People like to touch things, that's why the iPods, iPads, all of that stuff sounds like mad. People just, they want to go like this all the time. I'm sorry, I just touched you. Made you feel uncomfortable. Deal with it. Trust me, my beard's gonna be in your face in a few seconds or a few minutes, so this is nothing. That's kind of like what they're doing. And another cool thing, talking about touching things and touching things, touchpads like the gamepad. They're also apparently going to be getting rid of the DualShock, which has been their controller since the PS1, PS2, PS3, and they're abandoning the DualShock and creating another kind of controller that is kind of like the same size as this, but they want to add a touchpad where the select, start, and PS home button are. So in this area right here, they're going to have a small touchpad that apparently is going to be kind of similar to the Vita's rear touchpad. So this thing, not the front where this is a touchpad as well, but the back of it, which doesn't look like a touchpad at all, but you can do things on the screen and it'll activate. So that'd be kind of weird, because you'd have to, I guess it would be like a mouse technically, so you wouldn't actually be looking at the screen here. You would just be able to feel your way around, and that could work, I guess. Either way, I was hoping that you could see what you were doing. It would be kind of like if people remember the Dreamcast controller, you could add like a little memory card, and that kind of had, it wasn't a touch screen at all, because the Dreamcast we're talking about, this is like 10 years ago, if not much more actually, 99, geez, that's crazy how long that's been. Anyway, if I had easier access to my Dreamcast, I would show you, because I actually had that little memory card thing that showed the thing. But I think that would be really cool if you had like your regular PlayStation 4 controller, I guess, and then you had like a little touchpad here that you could just, I don't know, see little things. It would be like a mini iPhone type of thing, a mini screen like that, just for a little bit more stuff. But it doesn't look like it's just going to be something like the rear touchpad on the Vita. Once again, rumors. But that also makes me think even more that they're trying to copy Nintendo and trying to, you know, duplicate the gamepad. People like to touch things. That's just how things are going nowadays. It's you know, we want to do that all the time. So that's, I think, basically the gist of it. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that they talked about that was really important. February 20th is apparently when the official reveal is going to be, according to these rumors. They're getting rid of the DualShock, getting a new controller that's kind of like a touchpad, and it just makes me think they're kind of trying to duplicate what the Wii U is doing, or Nintendo, I guess, with the Wii U. And that, now here's my thoughts on the whole thing. Kind of nervous, but excited. I am excited for a new console because the PlayStation 3 is old. Granted, I only picked it up in 2011, but still, I'm slowly catching up with the backlog of games there. But, you know, we need a new generation of consoles. I'm happy with everything I have, but I just like to get excited for new consoles. That's part of being a gamer. You get excited for the next generation, and it's been a while. So that has me excited, but the part that makes me nervous is that the Vita, you know, did not do very good, and Sony is not doing very good themselves. You know, they've lost a lot of cred in the last little while. You know, even their other hardware things that have nothing to do with gaming isn't doing the greatest. So if they release the PS4 and it kind of does what the Vita did, Sony might back out of the gaming part of things, and that has me freaking scared because I want competition and I like Sony products. I like, you know, I like the games on the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and if they have to close down, that gets me scared, and I don't want that to happen. So that's basically the gist of everything. So thank you all for watching. You've been Bearded and Beardage!